Hello and welcome to the Monthly Mystical. It's been a little while since I've done one. I'm very excited today to have Becky Belgraie, who is going to talk about being an urban witch and what it's like to be an urban witch and all the stuff that goes around it, and give you some help, tips, ideas, etc. So that'd be really cool. So let's get her in. So if you've watching me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell thing so that you can get all of my interviews that come up, and there's lots more other things that are coming up in the future, so please subscribe. That'll be lovely. Thank you so much. Right, let's get her in. Okie dokie, here we are, hopefully, and here we go. Oh, almost.
Almost. I just
there we are.
There we go. Just making you bigger.
Good
Hello,
evening.
Jackie.
Hello. Don't make me too big.
No, it's a good job you can only see kind of that up.
I know, isn't it? It is today.
Can't see what I'm wearing beneath. That's
yeah,
all
exactly.
right.
Yes, I've got my fluffy slippers on.
Same as. I don't mind showing them. Okay, there you go.
Oh, they're very cool. I've got what have I got? I don't even know what they are. Bunnies or something, but they're a bit dirty now. Can't even get in there. Look. They are dirty. Hey ho, let's get on.
Oh, well, there you go. Crackpot witches. How are you doing anyway, Jackie?
Good.
Good.
So, life as an urban witch. Let's get cracking, shall we? I'm excited to hear some stuff.
Absolutely. So I kind of wanted to do this talk today because I want to encourage people to kind of step out and meet other witches, so they don't feel so alone. I mean, as you know, I run a Facebook group.
You do, yes.
And
I can put the link in if it's allowed.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, okay.
I run a Facebook group, and we're constantly trying to encourage people to come out and say hello. You know, we have a lot of moots in our area as well, where people get together.
I'm stopping you already. Can you explain what a moot is to people who don't know what it is?
Of course. So a moot was the old Anglo-Saxon word for a meeting.
Okay, yeah.
And so I suppose it's just been adopted, really.
Yeah.
And moots are places where you can get to meet like-minded folk.
Uh-huh.
But you can also learn. So, you know, it's great because you're not just sitting there reading a book thinking, what does this mean?
Yeah.
It's somewhere where you can take that information and hopefully somebody there may be able to expand on it. Or if not, you've got somebody to look into it with, which is always enjoyable. I'm not going to say that it's always easy for people to attend moots,
Yeah.
If you're going along and you don't know anybody and you're walking in for the first time, it can be a bit overwhelming. But what you've got to remember is that every single member at that moot has been you.
Yeah.
At one point.
Exactly, yeah.
They've had to walk in on their own.
100%. The same with all the other things that we talk about. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, I'll tell you a funny story, actually. So I have a very dear friend called Susie, and she runs the West Byfleet and Woking moot and has done for a few years now. She's a shaman.
Okay.
And when I first went to her moot all those years back, I went along and I said, I'm never going back to that place ever again.
Oh, no.
And I was very much, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And it was years. It was 2 years before I went back. And over those 2 years, I had to really sit there and think, was that about them? Or was that about me? You know?
Yeah.
And when I went back to join them, to go and meet up with them again, it was absolutely lovely. And there was another Rebecca there from a different moot at that time. And Susie said, when I walked up, she said, this is our Rebecca.
Oh, nice.
So it was almost like she knew that I would be coming back at some point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's hard. You might feel a bit out of place, but you have to think, is it about me or is it about them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with everything though, isn't it? You know, but that's a lot of the time, that's why we all go down all these paths, because we don't fit in with certain norms of life. So that's why we path out and try these other things. Yeah
absolutely. Whereas as I go on, I will admit that I've been very, very lucky throughout my life. I have had a life where all ages I've met and spent time with people seeking the more mystical kinds of life. So I've had lots of different experiences with lots of different people. And I don't know whether that was because of the music that I was into, the fashion that I was into, you know, whether that kind of stuff draws those kind of people, because I've always been very much on the alternative side of life anyway. So, you know, I've always been very lucky to find people who are into the same stuff.
I think we do get drawn to what we're meant to be drawn to, so that hence why we all, and then I often think, you know, when we go into these little new roads or whatever, I always think, well, that's funny how that happened, you know, like somebody, one of our mutual friends always says, you know, life is full of funny little coincidences. but it's probably meant to be, not just a coincidence.
And each stage is a journey, a new season, you know. You take from it what you want, and you leave behind what you don't want, you know, and you move on to the next phase of your life. But I just wanted to have a little chat with you about the fact that it's Friday the 13th, and we somehow ended up doing this on Friday the 13th.
I think that's brilliant.
And I wondered if people kind of had an idea of what Friday the 13th is about, like where it came from. I'm not an expert, and I will tell everybody straight off, I am not an expert on anything. I am just me. I walk my path. I share it with people along the way. I enjoy it.
Same here.
So if you have any further information on Friday the 13th that I don't bring up, or you can expand on it, then please put it into the chat. You know, afterwards, because I'm sure that Jackie and I would appreciate knowing more from people that may be experts.
Exactly. I always encourage people to comment after and say what they think, because that's all part of it.
Absolutely. Well, I've written it down, so I am going to be reading.
Okay, you carry on. Read away.
But it said Unlucky 13 originated with a Norse myth about 12 gods having a dinner in Valhalla. Then Loki, who wasn't invited, turned up as the 13th guest and arranged for Thor to shoot Baldur. When Baldur died, the earth turned dark as it went into morning. But then, listen to this. So how funny is it? But it also relates to Jesus's Last Supper. So 13 individuals were present at the Last Supper on the 13th night of Nisan, Thursday, the night before his death on the Friday. Judas was also the 13th disciple and the betrayer of Jesus.
That's right. Yeah.
So as we know, these kinds of stories, they all seem to just follow a pattern, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like what you hear in one tradition suddenly emerges in another tradition, just in a slightly different way. But then there was the Knight Templars. Okay? Now we know they certainly existed.
Yeah.
All right. So there was the Knight Templars, and in 1307, on Friday the 13th, the French king gave the order to arrest hundreds of the Templars in France.
That's right. They burned them all alive.
They did.
Which was really nasty. I thought.
They did.
Whenever I read, Paul normally tells me, because he reads more than I do, but he's told me some really horror stories about what happened to them, and it's a bit crap.
Well, it's very sad, isn't it, when you think that they fought the Holy Wars, and they were fighting, for these kings, and in the name of these kings, and this is what they got for it, and it was over envy because they were amassing a huge fortune, and it became a threat to the royalty of the time.
Yeah.
And so they wanted rid of them. But it's just so cruel.
Yeah, it was really nasty.
Very, very cruel.
We might have to put up I'll do or somebody will do something about the Knights Templar on one of my maybe not an interview, maybe a story or something.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be absolutely brilliant. But here we go. You're going to get my terrible pronunciations now. All right.
Go for it.
Okay. So it actually has a name. So the whole thing about Friday the 13th, there are names for the paranoia that goes around it. So one of them is Triskaphobia.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other one is Parakevidicatraphobia, right?
Wow. Okay, it's a mouthful.
Check it out yourselves, people, and learn how to pronounce it properly.
Yeah. Maybe they could do a voice thing on the comments or something.
Please do. Please do. So the first one is from Frigg, the Norse Friday.
Norse, yes.
And the Parakiva is from the Greek Friday. And Decatria is another way of saying 13. And phobia, of course, means fear.
Phobia. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But should we tie it in with witches, Jackie?
Yes, go for it.
All right. They say the most famous 13 is the Witches' Coven. In 1662, the Scottish witch Isabel Gowdy said that she practiced magic in a group numbering 13 who made a pact with the devil.
Oh. None of this sounds very lucky, to be fair.
Oh.
So what does everybody think? Some people think that it's lucky to have Friday the 13th. I don't know why. Everybody's just saying, "Oh, it's lucky, it's fine." Yeah. Well, I've not heard anything yet that sounds very lucky.
No, we're not out of this lot anyway.
No, definitely not.
Not out of this lot. It seems
maybe in the comments somebody can give us some nice stuff.
yeah. Hopefully, please comment, people. Tell us some more about it. Because how I see it is we are never, ever all knowing, and wouldn't it be a boring life, Jackie, if we were?
Exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll be like Stepford Wives or something.
Yeah.
If anybody knows what that is.
Stepford Wives, mowing the lawns.
Yeah, exactly, all the same with their pins on or whatever it was. That's mad, right?
Oh dear. I always think static humans we weren't meant to be like that. That's not how we were meant to be.
No, exactly.
So basically, I'm kind of going to give you a little bit of a background of myself, okay?
Yep.
And how I first got into this whole witchcraft spiritualism sort of kind of thing. So again, I was very lucky. So when I was being brought up, my parents kind of encouraged it. So I was brought up reading folklore books. My dad bought me my first kind of my dad bought me my first runestones. My grandmother bought me my first tarot.
Wow.
And so I was encouraged to read about lost civilizations, how they lived, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't have much left from those times because I've moved around a lot. I mean, I'm 50 years old this year, and
Yeah.
you know, it's you know, a million different boyfriends and God knows what else, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And you know, not quite a million, but
So you're doing all right.
but I kind of have moved around a bit. But you know, I did come across some books, and I thought it would be a bit of fun to kind of show you the first kind of books that I got given. So one of them was spells and how they work, and this would be a very famous book. There will be lots of people who started
I think I've seen,
with this
okay,
book, you know, Janet and Stuart Farrar. And I can see that I got this book in 1995 because I write the dates in my books. Yeah. And then we've got this wonderful box of stars that my dad got me. And I absolutely loved it when I was younger, and it's really helpful, and it's got loads of really cool information in it. So I mean, this was in the 80s. I think this one was around the 80s. I have, and I can't find it, which was really irritating, because I have The King in the Shadow of Realm, which was a book by John Simmons, and it was about Aleister Crowley. Ooh. And it's in the house somewhere, and I need to find it because it's worth money now.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put some of these titles in the comments as well, so that people can actually try and get a hold of them if they want them.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're very interesting books. I have this fantastic book, The Mysteries of Osiris, ancient Egyptian initiation. Ooh. You know, so this is a very rare book now. So you know,
yes, you're looking, I know Paul will be hunting for all these.
Yeah, you're looking at paying £150 for this book now, you know, so for a decent copy. So it's not it's not an easy one to find.
No.
And then The Legacy of the Beast, which is another Crowley book.
Yeah, I think of
yeah. And Colin Wilson's The Occult.
Okay.
So these
was
are
that
all
the ultimate book for those?
The ultimate book for those who would walk with the gods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep.
So, I mean, these are just a few of the kinds. So it kind of gives you a bit of an idea about what I was, you know, the books I had access to.
Yeah.
When I was growing up.
Yeah, I've got one book that I need to quickly grab if I can find it.
Go and find it. Go.
So I don't know whether you know this one, but Paul got this one when he was a little boy off his mum. It's called The Magic Power of Witchcraft.
I don't know this one.
Okay, I think it's really basic, but who's it by? Gavin and Yvonne Frost. Don't know whether you heard of them either.
No.
But yes, that was Paul's first little thing.
So he was somebody whose parents were kind of, you know, oh no, you shouldn't do that, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the mum was, she was cool. The rest of them were not so, but yeah.
Well, there's always some, isn't there? I mean, my mum bought me my first angel cards, and she still buys all of my stones for me now. So
that's nice.
I don't think I've really ever bought a stone in my life. She kind of just bombards me with them every now and again, which is very generous and very kind of her. But I wanted to kind of talk about when people first start getting into this kind of thing. Yeah. And the bombardment of information that there is out there, you know, especially since we've had the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you'll remember, Jackie, that probably when you first got into this, there wasn't all of this influx of information.
There's nothing.
No. You were lucky if you could find a book.
Yeah, you wouldn't see nothing. Not where I live. Definitely not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of just like overflow of information, which can be really confusing to people.
Even more so because of lockdown, it got really intense, didn't it? I mean, God, it was just all over the place. Everything has been, but yeah.
Well, groups formed left, right, and centre
because of that.
And it became quite mean, to be honest with you. I saw some really mean stuff being written in groups. So witches that had obviously been following their path for a long time and very stuck in their ways and you know, believing their path is the only path, have been quite mean to newcomers, you know, and that's disheartening to see, you know. And I've read posts where people are saying, where can I get witchy clothes, you know? I read a post where somebody was told once when they went to a pagan event that they weren't a witch because they didn't have a cloak. You know,
my language, but that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Just really petty stuff like that, you know. And I kind of wanted to visit, where did that image of the witch come from? That the witch wears all black, you know, looks like a goth.
Gothy stuff.
Do you get my point? I kind of wanted to look at that. You know, that's a fashion choice at the end of the day, because goths have been looking like that for, I don't know, ever since they were around. You know? It doesn't necessarily identify you as a witch. And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So if you're going to go out and change your entire wardrobe to conform to some stereotype of what people are saying a witch should look like, you're going to be spending a lot of money. And ultimately, are you trying to fit in, or is that coming from your heart? Because it should come from your heart, right? And actually, we all know about colour magic. So, you know something, sometimes it's nice to wear bright colours.
It's a good idea to wear bright colours, you know.
It makes you feel good, you know. And so I did feel that there was a lot of that kind of going on. There was a lot of people saying, you don't do it this way, and if you don't do it that way, and if you don't do it this way, you're not doing it properly, you know. And when you look at the bigger picture of tradition, anybody that says to you, I am a full traditional witch, I would be questioning that. Because tradition is something that's passed down through the ages and would tend to only be in families that they have probably been witches all the way through the family, you know. Otherwise, you're reading it from a book. And when you're reading it from a book, you're reading somebody else's path. And whilst, yes, you can incorporate that into your own, your path is your own. And you create your own tradition. And when you speak those words, somebody else may pick it up, you know?
Yeah.
And so actually, traditions are created constantly just by somebody learning or doing something new or doing something different. And it should be about how you feel. So books are great. They're great as a basis, something something to start learning from, something to help you create spells in the beginning. But it's about making it your own, you know? So don't ever feel afraid about making something your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to get that across. And then I was going to show you some of my bits that I bought along.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. So there's also this big kind of money-making spin going on in the world of witchcraft at the moment. Have you noticed it, Jackie?
I have, yeah.
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 It's,
definitely.
It really is a money-making spin. And you're quite right. Since the lockdown, it's become huge. So everybody's making a buck.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all entitled to do what they want, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But you don't need to be spending all of that money. If it's something that you particularly like I want some of Jackie's tarot card bags, right? So she's made some beautiful tarot card bags. Have you got one there to show?
Yes, I've got them all actually.
Yeah, come on, let's have a look.
While we're on the subject,
let's have a look.
All apart from one.
And by the way, I'm not plugging her bags. I'm just saying but they really are lovely.
There we go. I've got loads of different mad ones. Oh, that way.
They are so nice.
And yeah. So yeah, I mean, these are just the things that I like to do, you know. Yeah. And if people, because some people, I mean, you can do it or you can't do it. Some people can't do crafty stuff. If you can't do it, then you obviously get somebody to do it for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. You
know, that's why we started it in the first place, really. It was if you can't do it, then get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, there's plenty of things I most certainly can't do, you know. My idea of a wand isn't some beautiful crafted, you know, stunning wand. It's a piece of tree, you know, that
we've got a few trees in here as well.
To use as a wand.
Yes.
You know, it's
exactly
because I'm no good with that kind of stuff.
Hence, yeah, we've got like loads of bits of stick.
Yeah, sticks are everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sticks are absolutely everywhere. There's always got to have a piece of wood.
Yeah, that's it.
What's your favourite?
Almond.
Ah.
That's probably the amalgamation connection, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, mine's you.
Okay. Is it me? Oh, thanks.
Well, of course. But I kind of wanted to give people some hints and tips of where to get things from.
Yes, let's go.
So if you go to a witchy shop, all right, you're going to be spending probably about £5 on this small little bit of resin.
Okay, what we got there?
All right.
Yeah.
It does smell amazing though.
Does it? Good.
You know, you're spending like £4 on it.
Yep.
I go to the Asian shops. All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because the Asians use a lot of incense in their religion.
Yeah.
So, you know, I get these bags like this. So this is Loban.
Of course, yeah, okay.
I have myrrh.
Lovely. And you, that's so interesting. Yeah.
I have so much of it in here, it's crazy. I have gum Arabic. Now, the reason I use this is because it means I can bounce it up.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So I can use it as a bumper.
Yeah.
So I don't have to use masses and masses and masses of resin.
Mm-hmm.
But we also get, and I know I've got it in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's in here. Well, she says it's in here. But anyway, you also get frankincense from there too. Okay.
Oh, excellent. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So you can get lots and lots and lots of different resins from the Asian shops. Absolutely stacks of it. And it's dirt cheap. I pay like £4 for a great big bag like that.
Ah, interesting.
Which is a big difference to that.
Yes, 100%. Yes. Yeah.
You know.
Excellent. Yeah.
So things do not need to be expensive. You just need to know where to shop around. And they're also great for your spices and herbs. So like chilies, I get pomegranate seeds when I want to work with Persephone, clove powder. So just all of these different ingredients that I would use in spell work, I get it all from there. Because Perfect. It's the best place to go. What I use is I use a blender.
All right, yeah.
Okay. So this is what I do. All right. Then for flowers, because I don't live in the countryside where flowers are just growing here, there, and everywhere, I buy the reduced flowers in the shops.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do is I just dry them out at home.
Oh,
and then they've cost me next to nothing. And I find the beauty of that is they've got my energy in them because they've been sitting in the house with me.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
So if I buy,
and also they would have been thrown out, wouldn't they? I would have thought.
They
if they don't get sold, yeah.
Yeah. So
you're saving the flowers.
Yeah, it's saving them. It's reusing them, and I grind them all up in my grinder, and then I just have absolutely stacks of them. You know, and if I want to buy particular colours or particular flowers for a particular spell or a particular incense, it means that my intent is in there while they're in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm kind of feeding it that.
That's right. You're feeding the energy while you,
straight from the beginning, even to the point of this. So I go out, I order seafood, yeah? And what I do is I ask the chef for the shells.
Yeah.
So that I can use the shells for spells, right? So it's like everything I do, I see a use in it.
Yep.
And so it means I'm not constantly out spending loads of money.
No, exactly.
To do these kind of things. So where I live, it's quite cool. Down the sides of the roads, we have lots of wild plants growing, what people would call weeds, what I call a blessing.
Yes.
Yeah. And in the summer, what I do is I take myself out and I have a herb or a plant identifier on my phone.
Oh yes, I've got one.
Yeah.
Best thing I ever got.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, they are brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so what I do is I take it out with me and I just identify everything. Yeah. I bring it home and I dry them out and I store them. So I have a room upstairs. I'm very lucky. I have a room that's literally just dedicated to my junk. It is junk. Okay. And I dry everything out and I put it into little boxes and bottles and everything. And again, I'm saving money by doing that, you know, because otherwise you'll rush into a shop to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many money saving tips out there. These little roller balls.
Oh yeah, okay.
Cute, very pretty. I bought 10 of them for £5.
Oh, that's good. Excellent.
So it's 50p each. Yeah. So for making your magical or ritual oils, you know, it's nothing, is it? It's
No.
absolutely nothing, you
No,
know.
exactly, yeah.
And they're color coded, so you know what's inside what. And I always use a preserve for doing that. But I'm gonna let you know how I kind of really worked on herbs and how I really learned about them. So a few years back, I decided that I was going to make my own skincare. So I was just going to make my own natural skincare. And I bought this book, and I would recommend this book to everybody. And it is
in the light.
Called The Fragrant Pharmacy.
Okay.
And it's by Valerie Ann Wormwood. And if you look her up online, you will see that everybody thinks she's the goddess of aromatherapy. And inside this, it gives you all of the healing properties of all of the essential oils and the base oils and the butters, right? So it gives you absolutely everything. And that was another thing that I found knocked a lot of money off of my shopping, was making my own.
Yeah.
So to make a body butter, you literally need shea butter, a carrier oil, and some corn flour. You melt it all together, whisk it up, then add your corn flour, then add your essential oils, and you've got a natural body butter that you've made yourself, and it's cost you next to nothing. Any questions, Jackie?
Right, so you've gone through like the urban witch now, so we need to know where, well, everybody needs to know where they can kind of get in contact with witches. What's the best way of contacting or getting started? Because you say, join this, join that, but is there a communities? Is there this?
There is. There's the Pagan Federation. So
yeah. I was just going to say, because I found this morning, somebody says, when we're talking about our talk, and they've seen it on Facebook, and a few people says, go on to such and such community or something and can promote yourself on there. And it was like 50 quid to put my thing just to promote this interview. I was like, what? I thought you just meant I'll just stick the thing on there, but no, they're so that's not the kind of thing we need to be looking at. That we're looking for something that people can find that's to help them.
Was that the Pagan Federation?
No. I don't know what it was called. Something underlying community. It was on Instagram. I think it was American.
No.
It was an American thing.
The Pagan Federation allowed people to post on their page for free.
Okay.
And that is where most pagans that I know go to find out information. So they're up for promoting this. They have lists of moots on there.
Brilliant.
Okay. So you can find whole lists. There is also a lady called Lucia Starza.
Heard of that name?
Yeah, she has a blog called The Bad Witch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And what she does, she is amazing. She collates all of the information of pagan events going on week by week and posts it.
That's cool. Brilliant.
So, and a lot of these things are online at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So, I've been going to moots in Cornwall, Devon, places that I'd never get to go to.
Yeah.
And it's really good because every area has its own way of working and its own kind of traditions and stuff. And so you get to learn about what it is they're doing in different areas,
Yeah, because I'm assuming wherever your area is, it's going to be different kind of things that you're going to be using and doing and to go around your environment, I guess.
Well, it is, and I would recommend that people kind of really got out there and started connecting to their area, you know, and started connecting to the land where they live and getting to know it and finding out what used to be there, you know, and what was lives of people like there. I found that so amazing when you know, I've been meditating and I've been taken back to places, and I've been able to see the life that people were leading at that time. I've watched farms, I've watched people cooking, I've watched all sorts of things, you know, like just paying a visit to go and see what was going on. And that's because I go out and I spend time in the land around me. Everybody finds their special place.
They do.
You know, that special area. How I knew I found mine was when the woodpeckers started cooking. And I thought, yeah, I'm all right here. They're saying it's okay for me to be here, you know. But yes, I would go on to those things. So the Bad Witches blog, and also look at the Pagan Federation, and that's where you'll also be able to post your talks as well.
Ah, that's so cool. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, brilliant. Well, that was a whirlwind of bloody good information. If I do say so myself. Well done. So if possible, it'd be great if I could get you to, or you can just email me and I can add it onto the comments once I've posted it onto YouTube, etc. Well, if I do it onto YouTube, then it'll go out to everyone anyway. So
what I'll do is I'll add a list of books that people can use to start learning about herbs and, you know, their uses and things like that. What I would recommend is, if you've only got a small space, deciding with your friends who's growing what, and then you can do herb swaps. You know,
that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, and what I also would recommend is getting together with your pals and, you know, making spell jars and, you know, those kind of things, because you really get to learn from each other. So step out, be brave. We want to welcome you.
Yeah, brilliant. And I think I want to try and come to your next MOOC that you're doing, or whoever's in your community.
Or come to one of our workshops, Jackie. We make so much stuff, you know. We make spell candles, we make all sorts of things, you know, ritual bathing equipment, you name it, we make it, you know. It's brilliant. The place turns into a bomb site, but it smells great.
Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? I love the smells. Yeah. Thank you so much, Becky. Once again.
No worries. Listen, take care, everybody. Brightest blessings, and hope to see you all again soon.
You'll be doing another talk. I know that you said you were going to, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
I tell you what, I'm tied into this now, aren't I?
You are.
I'm not getting away with it. Next time I'll do it on a specific subject, though. So I shall pick a subject.
Yes. Okay. Brilliant. Fantastic.
If you've got anything in particular that you would like to know a bit more about, write it in the feed.
Yes,
and
in the
If
comments.
I know about it, I will do a talk on it.
Yes, in the comments below, if you've got anything you want to say about witches, or you want something that you want to know, we'd be lovely to have your comments, and let's get some conversations going, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we want you to tell us stuff too, you know.
Oh yeah.
So share your information and your knowledge with us, you know.
Yes. And if there's anybody out there that wants to come and do an interview with me, then again, put that in the comments. That would be fabulous. Yes. Right. Well, thank you very much. And guess what? I need a wee. So I'm off as well.
See you all again.
Well done. Thank you so much, Becky.
Bye.
Bye. See you all. See you soon.
Bye.
So I can get you. Hang on. Whoa, where have you gone? No, you're still. See you later. Bye.
See you later.
Well, that was brilliant, right? So I hope you got lots of information from that. And again, like we said, if you have anything that you'd like to comment about, anything you'd like to tell us, anything, information that you've got that we don't know, that would be fabulous. Anybody wants to do an interview, then stick it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I think it's that way. Subscribe to my channel, that'd be fabulous. And the little bell thing will tell you exactly when I'm doing any other talks. We've got some great stuff coming up. I've got a few other little secrets up my sleeve, so we're going to bring those, are all going to start coming up soon, and they will be live. So we're going to do a few live things, so make sure that you click on that subscribe and the little bell thing that tells you whenever I'm doing something, because there's a few lives coming up, which is very exciting. Okay, right, I hope you enjoyed this. This is the Monthly Mystical signing out. And I shall see you all soon. Have a fabulous, fabulous day, and blessings to you all. See you later, alligator.